Hello, everybody. I'm Madame Sensei. I teach Spanish, French, and Japanese to high schoolers out here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, and I am thinking my way through the Harvard Project Zero thinking routines. So if you want to help me with this, find me at studio-nemo.com or ping me on the Minecraft Education Ambassadors or the Minecraft Teachers Lounge or at the Duolingo Educators Network. We're still in considering controversies, dilemmas, and perspectives, and we are now on See, Feel, Think, Wonder. And remember, these thinking routines are located here, and the link will be in the description. This is See, Feel, Think, Wonder. I'm going to add here to this list because there's so much good music in the world. Try this on a song. This is a routine for exploring works of art and other interesting things. So when you're teaching grammar, you've got a pop-up grammar lesson, you're doing the grammar translation method, you're doing the audiolingual method and you're looking at transformation drills, or you're doing community language learning and you're dissecting a script your class wrote, or you're working straight out of your textbook, well, your students are going to need to be able to describe emotions. So make sure that they have all those emotional words. And this is just my files of pictures and emotions that I can just call up at a moment to just show the students. Really big on the screen. Your students might need some musical terminology or maybe some art terminology like color, line, shape, texture, that kind of thing. When you're teaching literature, culture, history, or art, or listening to music, or you could use this on a recipe, I'm sure. Look at those beautiful pictures of food in your recipe books. I've used this thinking routine as a precursor to when I dabble in Suggestopedia. Now, Suggestopedia, I really only reserve for those times when we're doing standardized testing and the students are so burned out. I learned my first year teaching quite abruptly that the kids are doing standardized testing for 3 hours in the morning. By the time they get to you in the afternoon, they are useless. It doesn't matter how much of a fun game I had planned. The students are just really burned out. They just can't do the cognitive heavy lifting. So that's when I do, this is like a standard schedule for testing. So listening to some calming, culturally appropriate music and then allowing them for me to read to them in a soothing voice. And then you build to the over-the-top goofy hamminess of Suggestopedia. It's a pretty good remedy for those burned out days. For the record, Suggestopedia is supposed to use Bach or Verdi or some classical music. That's lovely. I love classical music. It'd be great if I taught Italian or German, but I feel very strongly that the music should be culturally appropriate. So if you can't find anything classical and calming in your language, so like, for Japanese students, I've got koto songs, I've got shamisen, that's all great. But sometimes I just go to the movie soundtracks, okay? And I just love the symphonic type of movie soundtracks. And I actually got to work on a movie that this composer also worked on. So it was really cool. I got to hear a lot of his music. Not this one. Unfortunately didn't work on this movie. One of my favorite go-tos is the soundtrack for Uchisenkan Yamato. It is just so great. So some kind of calming symphonic music is great for the Suggestopedia method. Next episode, we're going to be talking about sticking points. Hope to see you there.